What's up, everybody? I wanted to do something different today. I wanted to tell a story. What the heck? I've got a story to tell. Here's what you get. I wanted to tell you about the greatest and worst, emphasis on worst, physically, spring break in the entire world. So I'll give you a little bit of background first off. Picture this, go back in time a couple of years. Senior year of high school, spring break's coming. My friends and I are thinking to ourselves, what would be a magical way to go out with a bang, to end spring break, end our senior year on just a magical ending, storybook ending before, we go to college and get married, adult stuff. The weeks leading up to spring break, we were thinking to ourselves, okay, what are we going to do? And we thought, okay, Vegas, too mainstream, we thought at the time. California, too expensive, seeing as none of us worked or did anything productive that gained money. So we had to stay pretty close and pretty inexpensive. We finally decided to go to Zion's National Park in southern Utah, St. George area. So I thought, okay, let's get a campsite. Let's reserve one so we're just smooth sailing when we get there. We'll reserve our campsite a couple weeks in advance. The day of spring break comes, and we opted to have our friend Penn drive, me and 3 other friends, including Penn, so 4 of us total. That from the get-go was a bad idea. Yeah, because let me paint a picture for you. Penn, his name's Spencer, we called him Penn, Spencer, Penn. Rolls off the tongue quite nice, we thought. Penn decided that it would be best if we stuck all 4 of us, plus all of our materials for a whole week of camping, which included food, tent, clothes, other things, firewood that we forgot later on, into the back of his Mitsubishi Eclipse, early 2000 model, coupe, so 2 doors. Why we thought that was a good idea, I don't know. I had a van, we didn't take that. I guess we wanted good gas mileage, I don't know. We loaded everything up by some miracle. Penn was obviously the driver, his car. I was the passenger because weeks prior, about 3 weeks prior, I had dislocated and destroyed my knee in a track meet doing long jump. So I was, yeah, there was no way I was gonna scrunch my legs up and ride. No, it wasn't gonna work. So I got the luxury of a passenger seat, and we stuck my friends Chase and Trevor in the back, and they were basically isolated because in between them we had the giant stack of pots and pans and sleeping bags and other assortment of goods that we thought we needed. We were all set. We started driving. We threw on an old Eminem CD to set the mood. I don't know what mood we were trying to set, but the mood was set, and we drove. It was comfortable, good air conditioning, great time. And about an hour in, we got pretty hungry, and we realized all of our food was in the back. Well, on the freeway, we can't really pull over and get no food. So, luckily, I had brought what was termed the bag of essentials. Now, I don't know what a high schooler deems as essential nowadays, but apparently back then I figured, okay, essentials. All I had in my little sack was miniature pretzel rods, okay, and a wild berry Pop-Tart box. Everyone had about 1 or 2 rods and called it good. And that was about all we ate for 3 hours. When we started to realize, the GPS coordinates for this campsite are taking us where we don't really remember, because we've been to St. George before. Come to find out, we learned that the campsite we had reserved was in actually Arizona, not Utah. So Yeah, fat chance of that happening. So that was a lost cause, lost money. Great. Solid. So we decided, well, we better make up for lost time and speed in the opposite direction, to which we were pulled over by a cop. We didn't get any warning. We just got a very large fine because first off, we were going 110. That's probably our first mistake, obviously. But second, our second mistake was that we had deemed this camp outing tank camp. Why tank camp? Because we decided to all be morons and wear nothing but tank tops, shorts, and flat brim hats with accompanying sunglasses. So when we get pulled over and the cop sees 4 high school kids with nothing but tank tops and flat brims looking like a total douche canoe, yeah, we definitely got a ticket. Luckily, it was Penn's car, so we thought he'll just pay the ticket. He's the one speeding after all. And he's the only one with somewhat of a job, so he has money somewhat. So later on, as we're nearing the campground designated area, my friend had an app on his phone. He thought it would be funny to turn on fake sirens. And boy, did he get chewed out. So tensions are high. We're already down lots of money from the ticket and the campground that we have not paid for because we're not going to Arizona. And yeah, it was not a good. We decide that we probably should find a campground. So we find a campground. And that was overpriced for one night stay. We ended up paying $45. Yeah. We're losing very quickly. We pay the money because there's nowhere for us to stay. We get to our campground, we get the materials out for a campsite or tent. We're like, well, let's have some food real quick. We've had a long drive. Come to find out, all we had packed was things that required firewood, obviously, and nothing just open a Lunchable. We didn't have any Lunchables or anything. All we had was raw meat and some bread and salsa. As I mentioned, we forgot the firewood home, so yeah. We decide, well, we don't have firewood, and we also don't have any way to cook this meat. So our wonderful dining experience that night consisted of my bag of essentials and white bread with salsa. Yeah, that was nourishing. I don't want to do that again. It gets worse. So we decide, well, let's set up our tent. We assemble the poles together, get the tarp ready, and we realize we don't have a hammer to drive the stakes in to secure our tent. So we just found a rock and tried to do that. That night we sleep wonderfully. Great time. We had Cards Against Humanity. We played some games. Got some other campers mad at us because we were too rowdy. And we decided we should probably leave camp very quickly before we get some more people called on us, as they threatened to do so multiple times. We decide to, well, let's go hike. Angel's Landing, of all places. And I said, guys, I don't know if you noticed, but I have a leg brace from my inner thigh / groin area all the way down to my ankle. There's no way I have the physical ability to do Angel's Landing. It might as well be Devil's Landing for me, because I would surely die. And they said, you'll be fine. Just, hike up as far as you can, and we'll go to the top, and, you can rest here, catch your breath, enjoy the scenery, maybe get some digits, Okay. We begin hiking the ascent, and I get to a point where I'm just checked the freak out. I cannot climb anymore. So I take a seat, and I'm like, well, guys, go ahead. They go on ahead, and it starts to get a little colder. And I'm sitting there, you know, nothing but a tank top, of course. Getting a little colder, a little colder. Mind you, we're in St. George, Utah over spring break. It's supposed to be 80s, 70s, high 60s at the least. It snows. Yeah, it freaking snows, okay? Full on torrential snowfall. And I'm freezing my freaking nuts off. I'm cold. This nice family, you know, they see my horrible condition. They're like, well, where's your friends? And their daughters come down moments later and they say, hey, are you Daniel? And I say, well, yes, I am. I'm glad I'm a celebrity now. And they're like, well, your friends they're going to be a while. So they said, just start walking down and, you know, we'll be happy to walk with you. Two attractive girls, roughly my age. I thought, oh, nice. So we begin walking down. Eventually Spencer or Penn and Trevor and Chase catch up with me. And we begin talking with this family. And they're like, well, where are you guys staying? We say, well, we don't really have a place. And they say, well, come to our campground and, you know, we'll work something out. It's pretty cheap to stay there. So we do that. We get in our car, we follow to the campground, and we ignore the little, like, put the money in the deposit. Boop. Yeah, we don't do that because we're hurting on cash and there's no one officiating it. So we thought, well, free camp. You know, if you really wanted us to pay, put a better security system or something. You know, a couple of tool bags, tank tops are probably not going to pay. So we didn't pay. Great evening. We're like, well, you know, we're going to have some dinner and maybe after we'll come to your camp and maybe we'll hang out, you know, do some stuff. Yeah. Then we're tasked with building a fire and cooking our raw meat. And that's literally all we had was meat. We had sausage, we had lots of bacon, lots of eggs, and hot dogs. We had nothing else other than my bag of essentials. The pretzels and the Pop-Tarts, which at this point had been fought over and hidden, and so there was like probably five crumbs left at this point. So our options of diversity and roughage were pretty minimum. Actually, I'm gonna say they're non-existent. We had no vegetable matter. We had meat. So we found some loose sticks on the ground, and turns out Trevor had a lighter. We wished we didn't known about that sooner. Some words were exchanged. Yeah. Anyways, we eventually get a fire. We cook up our meats and we enjoy it. We relish the substantial nourishment that we haven't had for like a day and a half. Okay, well, we've had our meat cooked in meat grease and more meat, and we know it's gonna come back and kill us, but you know, we're invincible. We're high schoolers in tank tops. We're fine. So we walk over to the camp with the girls, right? And their parents offer us some marshmallows. We partake and enjoy those. And then we say, well, do you guys want to come back to our tent and play some games? All we had was Cards Against Humanity. Horrible game. Great game. Recommend it. 10 out of 10. And they say, yeah, sure. So we start playing this game and, you know, laughs are exchanged. We have a good time. Well, long story short, we lose track of time and it's like 3 in the morning. The witching hour has begun. Oh boy. And we got the feeling that these girls would be willing to try things. But we decided, you know what, we're not that kind of person. We're not gonna do that. Yeah, no, yeah. Anyways, you know, we enjoy the evening and we say, well, we should probably all go to bed. It's, you know, close to 4 now at this point. And our friend Trevor, who at this point had never kissed a woman, we just said, Trevor, why don't you, you know, go ahead and walk these girls out? He said, sure, I'll do it. And, you know, we gave him that look that if you don't come back with, you know, a tale to tell, don't come back at all, kind of thing. And so he walks them out and, you know, a minute goes by and a couple more minutes go by. Pretty soon it's like 20 minutes. And Trevor comes back and he's got that look. Or it's like, oh, And yes, he did kiss her. Trevor, that's when I gained respect for you as a man. The following morning, we decided, well, we better leave quick in case they do some rounds and say, did you pay? Did you pay? Did you pay? Because we certainly did not pay. So we decided, let's get the out of here and carry on our way. So that's what we do. We don't pay the deposit. We don't get the numbers of the girls, which was foolish on our part. We head out. And we realize that we're out of food. We have horrible indigestion. The tent smelled like death because all that meat digesting not properly and farting for 4 hours with 4 young adult males was a horrible combination. I wanted to die. We all wanted to die at this point. We needed to poop. We needed to alleviate our bodies. Trevor, again, as he conveniently remembered his lighter, also remembered, oh, guys, I have grandparents that live in St. George, just like 10 minutes from here. Where was this earlier? You know, kind of thing. We make a quick phone call, and his grandparents graciously allow us to spend the rest of the week there, because we would have died. There's just no getting around that. We would have died, probably. We go to the house. It's beautiful. They have running water. They have a sink. They have carpet. And they have ice cold Cheerios and milk with strawberries. It was beautiful. We decide to regroup and we think to ourselves, okay, what are we going to do with these last few days? And then we remembered something we had almost forgotten about. On the drive, on that fateful drive, we were driving alongside a car, you see, on the way there. And we looked into it and noticed 2 females our age. And we decided to do what any responsible young adult wearing a tank top and snapback would do. We wrote our number on a piece of paper and shoved it up against the passenger window. We got numbers, we got digits. We got digits! So, we begin to start the conversation. Well, Penn does, because Penn had this magical gift of getting girls. What's your name? Spencer. Numbers were exchanged, evenings were had. You know. So Penn, of course, the mastermind, is sending a text and says, hey, night hike. You down? More elaborate, I'm sure. Within seconds, we get a reply. So we're like, oh my gosh. Guys, we could do this. Chase, at the time, was spoken for, so he had no interest in, you know, making out with the girl or whatever. Penn was attracted to one of them. And the other one, you know, Trevor had already made out, so it was like, okay, kind of my turn. Right? We meet up for this night hike, and it goes well. We make it to the top effortlessly. You know, I'm kind of sore at this point. It's been a long day on my little knee. I was tired. Penn's like, you know, why don't you guys head down and we'll catch up. She was wearing his hat, which our friends knew that if a girl wore Penn's hat, the evening may as well already been sealed in fate. So we're like, okay, Penn, I see you. Enjoy. We'll make our way down the hill. And then Chase and Trevor throw me a solid. They go another way. And I'm left with this other girl. We begin talking. You know, I pull the old, you know, she's sitting by me. The old, hello. And we enjoy company. Penn enjoys his company. Although I was a pansy, I didn't kiss her. Because, yeah, I suck. I guess I suck. We all eventually make it back to the rendezvous point of the cars. And, you know, we exchange numbers properly. I do with this female. We go our separate ways. We go to Mickey D's and enjoy some celebratory McDoubles and Blue Powerade. Cuts through the thirst. And we're, you know, reminiscing, having a good time. And, you know, we realize that, you know, we have no more food. And we just spent the last of our money on Mickey D's. So we spend the night at Trevor's grandparents, and after some more Cheerios and milk and fresh strawberries. You know they were quality because they weren't in the box anymore. They were in like those Tupperware things only rich people had. Because I sure as frick couldn't afford that. So you know there was quality Cheerios. We enjoyed that. I was mocked heavily for not making out with that girl. But that's life. And we decided that, before we lose the rest of our money and have diarrhea for the next 5 days, we should probably head home. And yeah, we drive home and we decided to never again do that to ourselves. And there you have it. There's Tank Camp, the most embarrassing but legendary spring break I've ever been on. I don't know if that means I have no life and I don't get out much, or if it really was that incredible.